Guys, it's Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm laying in the bed right now. So forgive me that I don't really have a lot of makeup on or anything. I actually tried to take a nap, a couple hours ago and was having problems because my stomach was hurting really bad. And so I may have slept like 30 minutes, I'm not sure, but now I had to get up and make something to eat for the kids and everything. But this made me think of, while I was dealing with this, it made me think of doing a video about it, just because I don't think I have before, and just kind of, I don't know, just kind of like bring awareness and document something that I think a lot of people deal with. So, I don't know if I've told you guys before or not. I can't remember. But, I think it was 2014, maybe. I have to keep track of so much medical stuff, especially now with him, that I kind of forget, but I know like a general area. So I believe it was 2014, and I started out with really bad pains, most noticeable during intercourse. And so I went for like my regular OBGYN yearly visit and told them, and while they were doing the the exam, he thought that he could actually feel something. So then they had me do an ultrasound, and on the ultrasound they could see what looked like a cyst. So then I ended up having, because it was big, like it was so many centimeters big and hurt so bad, they did schedule me to have a surgery. So I went in to have this, they called it a chocolate cyst, which is pretty much just like a blood-filled cyst. Scheduled the surgery. I went in to have it removed. And when I woke up from the surgery, I found out that they also had to remove my left ovary due to swelling or something. It was enlarged. And that I also found out that I have endometriosis. And that while he was in there, he did do like the excision or ablation, where they kind of like pretty much scrape or burn away tissue that's outside of the uterus, not where it's supposed to be. So backtracking a little bit, if you don't know what endometriosis is, it's a disorder where your tissue that normally lines your uterus grows outside of the uterus, particularly the fallopian tubes, on the ovaries, on the rectum, on the bladder, and just other pelvic tissues. And the cause of endometriosis is still unknown. I don't know if like they still do research and stuff, but they don't really know where it originated from, or what like specifically causes it in each person. Now, they say that there is different ranges of endometriosis, like they range from mild to severe, and I think they even have stages, which my doctor never told me what stage it was. I learned about this on a support group that I'm in on Facebook, that there's different stages. So when I go back next time, I'm going to ask what stage I have, just because I like to know that kind of thing. But I read online that more than 200,000 cases in the U.S. per year occur, and 176 million women suffer worldwide. I don't know when that was updated. I just looked at it a few minutes ago so that I could give you guys more information. And, okay, so I'm going to talk about, like, the symptoms. Most common are menstrual pain and menstrual irregularities. Oh gosh. Menstrual pain and menstrual irregularities. Jesus. Anyways, so like that could just mean anything outside of a normal period. So another symptom is like an extremely heavy period, spotting outside of period, and then like I said, painful. You can also experience pain in your lower abdomen, your lower back, pelvis, rectum, or even in your vagina, according to the website that I was just reading. And gastrointestinal symptoms, like stomach related, said constipation or nausea, abdominal fullness, like feeling bloated all the time, and cramping. Also common is infertility. So most of the time when I heard about endometriosis, I always heard it from people that did suffer from infertility, and because of the endometriosis they couldn't get pregnant. Now for me, in my case, I had my first daughter at a young age. I was 19, so then at 21 or 22 I had my next child, and I actually, right after having him, got my tubes tied. So it's weird for me that like 4 or 5 years later after that I did find out that I have the endometriosis, but since I do have it, it is possible. It just varies, for different people vary. So luckily I didn't suffer from it beforehand, that I know of, and if I did, it didn't cause any infertility. I did have 2 kids. I just chose to get my tubes tied after my boy. Okay, so treatments. Normally they consist of hormones. For me, like if you have really heavy and painful periods, they most often offer you to start hormone treatment, where you take a certain type of medicine, like a estrogen or a progesterone medicine, to just kind of help with the pain and regulate your period. I never started those hormone medicines because I do not have severe menstrual pain. I have a lot of other symptoms, but that's not my worst one. And I was scared to start hormone treatments at my younger age because it would put you into premenopause and you would have to deal with those menopausal symptoms. So I never started that. But they most often use that as a treatment. They do excision surgery or ablation, where they go in and, like I said, either freeze it, burn it, scrape the tissue off of where it's not supposed to be. And to diagnose the endometriosis, like they did for me, they did the laparoscopic surgery, where they go in with the camera, really tiny holes in your belly, and look around. And that's the only way they can tell if you have the endometriosis, is actually doing the laparoscopic and seeing it for themselves. Okay. Pain management is also a treatment. People can take NSAIDs or higher narcotics or something like that. I just take Midol for mine. Oral contraceptives. You can take a birth control pill, which has hormones in it, to help with the symptoms. And then the most severe treatment would be the hysterectomy, just to take everything out, and then you should no longer have the symptoms, because you won't have the ovaries or anything to cause that tissue to grow anywhere. And for me, where I already have my tubes tied, and now I only have one ovary, I am debating on whether or not to have the hysterectomy, because I've been having some really bad issues lately, with other symptoms that are just, they're unbearable. So go. It's on the floor. Sorry. And I did read that as many as 8% of people with endometriosis, or as many as 8% with bowel symptoms, particular, may be also diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease. It was right here on the floor, Gabriel. Now do not bother me, please. I'm not feeling good. Okay, shut the door. Sorry. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about was my worst symptoms lately have been to do with bowel issues. I really believe I have inflammatory bowel disease or some type of issue. They even say that your endometrial tissue. So for me, I have really bad problems with being able to use the bathroom because of this. And so I don't know how long it's been. Probably the past year, it's gotten worse and worse. Like, I constantly have gas issues, but it takes me like maybe once a month to actually use the bathroom. So I'm wanting to go back to the OBGYN and see if there's something to do to find out if maybe the endometrial tissue has grown on my bowels, or if there's a way to tell if I have IBS or what's causing it, and just help me try to find a way that will deal with it, because it's just as bad as like the menstrual pains, having to deal with severe, bowel issues like constipation or something, because my stomach constantly cramps, like at the top, like right under your breastbone. It constantly feels like it's so full of air that it just hurts so bad. And I mean, it's like debilitating pain, and it's so weird that it's just from like air, gas, or whatever. But so I've been dealing with that a lot lately, and I just thought that I would share my experience, because I'm sure there's other people out there that could learn from it, or, see that they have, oh, I have these symptoms, I should go to the doctor. But I did read some other ways that some doctors recommend changing your diet to help treat the endometriosis. In particular, the one I looked at said to start an anti-inflammatory diet, eliminate dairy foods for 3 weeks, eat only hormone-free meat because it has extra estrogen in it, avoid soy foods because they're mildly estrogenic, and take omega-3 fatty acid supplements. So I was reading those alternate ways and looking into that, because I do notice that certain things I eat, especially dairy, really do bother my stomach. So I do limit my dairy intake. But anyways, sorry about the phone. I'm holding it like right beside of me because I'm laying in the bed. But I just wanted to kind of talk a few minutes about endometriosis, and I deal with it, on a daily basis. And so I thought I would share it with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or email me. And if I think of anything else to let you guys know about it, I will do another video. So anybody out there that does know that they have endometriosis, dealing with it, I know your struggle, and, I feel your pain, and just hang in there, and eventually we will hopefully get over it or figure out a way to deal with it. But my video keeps stopping because I'm out of space. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like button. And I hope all of you have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.